Hey everyone, welcome to this session where we discuss the news of the day. Today is 6th April and let's look at some of the news that has the kind of news that is expected that can appear in your CLAT paper, in your other law entrance examinations, the kind of news that you should be aware of. Let's see what is happening in the field of judiciary, in the field of sports, in international forum, what are the things that are happening. So a lot of interesting news happened yesterday that we are going to discuss today on 6th April. Let's start the session. Okay, so starting with the first news, it talks about Supreme Court says that critical views on government policies is not anti-establishment. So if a media, suppose there is a media channel that is criticizing the government policy, it does not mean that it is anti-establishment. The media is not expected to only praise the government or only talk about how good the establishment is. The role of media is to put the truth before the public. So Supreme Court says that if you have critical views on government policies, so it cannot be termed as anti-establishment. And this was the case of this Malayalam channel Media One. So it was banned by the government. So lifting the telecast ban on Malayalam channel Media One, the Supreme Court has rapped the government for silencing voices in the media who speak truth to power by branding them anti-establishment, as well as for the stage's unguided and ad hoc use of sealed covers in courts to outsmart citizens' rights to personal liberty, life, and profession. So, court has lifted the ban on Malayalam channel Media One, and this was the observation of the court. The court said that the critical views about government policies cannot be termed as anti-establishment. If we use this word, it betrays an expectation that the press must support the establishment. An independent press is vital for the robust functioning of the democratic republic. The press has a duty to speak truth to power and present citizens with hard facts. A homogenized view on issues that range from social, economic, polity to political ideologies will present grave dangers to democracy. If everybody is saying the same thing, that is not good for democracy. Someone has to criticize also, someone has to bring the truth before the public, and that is the role of media. So, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud has observed this in a long judgment, 134-page judgment, and the other judge that was present was Hema Kohli. The court ordered the government to renew the telecast permission of this Malayalam channel Media One to the channel within 4 weeks. In another observation, Supreme Court says that political leaders cannot claim higher immunities. There were petitions by the opposition parties, opposition leaders, that at the time of arresting, some guidelines should be followed for political leaders, because the government uses the ED, uses the CBI, uses all the resources to implicate them, to falsely arrest them. All this should be stopped. Some safeguards should be there, but Supreme Court says no. Political leaders are just like normal citizens. They cannot have higher immunity in cases of arrest and in these matters. So the Supreme Court told a united opposition of 14 national parties that political leaders stand absolutely on the same footing as any ordinary citizen of India, and they are not entitled to any higher immunity from investigation, arrest, or prosecution. So after this, the 14 parties withdrew their joint petition that claimed that center was arbitrarily using agencies such as Enforcement Directorate and the Central Board CBI to arrest and institute criminal proceedings against opposition leaders who expressed their fundamental right to dissent or disagree with the Narendra Modi-led government. So the parties had suggested, what they did was they suggested that there should be a triple test that should be followed before ordering for arrest and remand of the political leaders. So the triple test, including factors like whether a person was a flight risk, whether there was a reasonable apprehension of tampering with the evidence or of the influence of intimidation of witness. They also proposed that alternatives such as interrogation at fixed hours or at most house arrest be used to meet the demands of the investigation. The petition said that the court should follow the principles of bail as rule and jail as exception, especially in cases involving non-violent offences. But court said that the political leaders is basically a citizen. As citizens, we are all members to the same law. Political leaders do not enjoy any immunity. This was also observed by the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud. So the advocate from the opposition, from the petitioners, Abhishek Singhvi, he said that the petition represented a united front comprising 42% of the political spectrum, including 14 parties, together representing 45.19% of the votes cast in the previous assembly elections. Mr. Singhvi said that in the decade between 2004 to 2014, nearly 60% of the political leaders investigated by the CBI were from the opposition of the time. Now the same figure has risen to over 95%. So this shows that somewhere government is doing something maliciously implicating, maliciously uh, instituting false cases against the leaders of the opposition party to dissent their voice. Wherever there is a dissent, they're trying to uh, silence their voice. So, reacting to the day's development, Union Minister Anurag Thakur said that some of the opposition parties had indulged in corruption and attempted to come together on one platform, but their reality was exposed in court. High Court has ordered translocation of wild tusker Arikompan to Parambikulam Reserve. So there was a wild elephant roaming, and there was a lot of confusion regarding where to relocate that wild elephant. So High Court has ordered translocation. So of Kerala High Court on Wednesday ordered that the wild elephant Arikompan roaming at Santharpara and Chinakalan in Idukki district be captured, radio collared, and relocated to the Parambikulam Tiger Reserve, where there is ample of food and ample of places to go. Government has introduced aquaculture bill amended in Lok Sabha. So this bill has been introduced. It is called Coastal Aquaculture Authority Amendment Bill 2023. So the member of opposition have disrupted the Lok Sabha over demands for a joint parliamentary committee probe into the Adani issue, and amidst all that, they introduced this aquaculture bill. And in this bill, which was introduced by Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy Minister Parshottam Rupala, this seeks to decriminalize certain offences that are listed in the earlier 2005 Act so that there is ease of doing business. It is also aimed at fine-tuning the operational procedures of the Coastal Aquaculture Authority and promoting newer forms of environment-friendly coastal aquaculture which have the potential for creating additional employment opportunities. It also has a provision to prevent the use of antibiotics and pharmacologically active substances which are harmful to human health in coastal aquaculture. 40,700. So 40,700 crore rupees have been sanctioned under the Stand Up India scheme to promote entrepreneurship at a grassroots level. The funds have been sanctioned by banks to over 1.8 lakh beneficiaries, and this scheme was launched on 5th April 2016. Almost half cases, close to half cases in high courts are pending for over 5 years. We discussed this yesterday also, that there is this India Justice report that came up with all these data, that there are less number of judges, there is a stagnation of judges, what is the number of female judges in the trial courts, in the high court. So this is also one data, that close to half cases in high courts is pending over is for more than 5 years. So as on 2nd January 2023, close to half the cases in Indian high courts were pending for over 5 years. In the Allahabad High Court, which is of Uttar Pradesh, and Calcutta High Court, that deals with West Bengal and Andaman and Nicobar, they have over 63% of cases they were pending for over 5 years. Whereas high courts in northern India, including Tripura, Sikkim, Meghalaya, they had less than 10% cases pending for over 5 years. So this was the report. It has a very detailed report and all the states and everything is given in the report. You can have a look later. Maharashtra, Karnataka are at loggerheads regarding this health scheme. So Maharashtra has notified that they will provide medical cover to residents of 865 border villages, and Karnataka does not like this. Karnataka CM Basavaraj Bommai, he does not is not impressed with this proposal by the Maharashtra. So, pro-Kannada group slam rule requiring applicants to submit form declaring themselves as Marathi speakers. So, there is a requirement that the applicants who will submit the form, they will have to declare that they are Marathi speakers. So, those who are pro-Kannada, they do not like this either. So, a decade-long border dispute escalated with Maharashtra Excise Minister Shambhuraj Desai strongly backing the government's decision to extend benefits of its flagship health insurance scheme to 865 villages in Karnataka, and the neighboring state's chief minister Basavaraj Bommai warning of retaliatory measures if Maharashtra did not withdraw the scheme. With the assembly poll in Karnataka scheduled for May 10, Maharashtra's attempt to reach out to the residents of the border village has raised political heat in the southern state. Mulayam Singh Yadav and PC Mahalanobis, they have received Padma Vibhushan posthumously after their death. So you can see Akhilesh Yadav is receiving on behalf of Mulayam Singh Yadav. So veteran socialist leader and former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister, the late Mulayam Singh Yadav, and the late Dilip Mahalanobis. Okay, this is Dilip Mahalanobis, not PC Mahalanobis. Dilip Mahalanobis, so who was a medical professional and is known globally for his work on oral rehydration solution ORS. They were honored with the Padma Vibhushan by President Draupadi Murmu. Author and philanthropist Sudha Murthy, physicist Deepak Dhar, known for his long-standing research career in statistical physics, novelist S.L. Bhairappa, and Vedic scholar Tridandi Chinna Jiyar Samiji, they were given the Padma Bhushan at a function held at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Mulayam, who was also India's defense minister and long-time parliamentarian, and Mahalanobis, who returned from the Bangladesh war refugee camps, were given the honor posthumously. Mulayam's son, former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav, received the award on his behalf, while Mahalanobis' award was received by his nephew. A total of 53 awardees were given this honor on Wednesday. India has been elected to United Nations Statistical Commission. So, elected to the highest statistical body of the United Nations for 4-year term beginning from 1st January 2024. So, External Minister S. Jaishankar had tweeted, "Congrats Team India, UN New York for coming through so strongly in a competitive election. India has secured 46 out of 53 votes in the election to UN Statistical Commission election." United States House Speaker meets Taiwan President despite China's threat. So China was threatening that the meeting should not happen, but the US Speaker Kevin McCarthy, he sat down with China's President Tsai Ing-wen on Wednesday for a meeting in California that has already prompted outrage from China. There were news that Johnson and Johnson is there were so many lawsuits claiming that Johnson and Johnson talcum powder causes cancer. So Johnson and Johnson offers $8.9 billion for settlement of talc this cancer claims. So they proposed this 8.9 billion settlement to resolve years old lawsuits claiming that its talcum powder causes cancer. The New Jersey-based company said the proposed settlement will equitably and efficiently resolve all claims arising from cosmetic talc litigation. United States and South Korea, they hold air drills involving B-52H. This B-52H is nuclear capable. B-52H is strategic bomber. So South Korea and US, they stage joint air drills involving at least one US nuclear capable B-52H strategic bomber. Seoul's military reported this. North Korea views such exercises as rehearsals for invasion, and North Korea has responded to other recent drills with the spat of increasingly provocative banned weapons test. IFC says to stop funding new coal-related infra projects. So, what is IFC? IFC is International Finance Corporation. It's a private sector arm of the World Bank, and it has said that it will not support investment in any new coal-related projects. The IFC funds banks and other financial institutions that in turn lend to infrastructure and energy projects. IFC has reportedly lent close to $5 billion to almost 88 financial institutions in India. This year, IFC is taking the next step towards alignment with Paris Agreement ambitions regarding cutting down the carbon emission, under which IFC will start requiring a commitment from financial institution clients to not originate and finance any new coal project. Former India cricketer Sudhir Nayak passes away. Sudhir Nayak was India opening batsman and Mumbai captain, and he passed away at the hospital following a brief illness. He was 78 years of age. He played three Tests and two ODIs in 1974-75. Mahendra Singh Dhoni among five Indian cricketers to get MCC Life membership. So this is Marylebone Cricket Club membership has been given to Dhoni along with Yuvraj Singh, Suresh Raina, former women's national captain Mithali Raj and Chulan Goswami. This is all for right now. Thank you so much. See you in the next session with more set of news. Till then, have a good day. Goodbye.